We're glad that you took the time to sign up for this free serve lesson. These are the 5 foundations to create a great serve.
The 5 foundations we're going to cover today that you all need to have are your stance, your balance, your rhythm, your contact point, and also your grip.
All other things put aside, these things are what truly matter.
Okay, so the first foundation that we're going to talk about is your stance. And Jordan and I coach a lot of players, a lot of club players that really never get this right, and it just affects all the rest of the serve. If you want to have good balance, if you want to have good rhythm, if you want proper contact and really learning how to use your body, you've got to start with the right stance. So the proper stance is to get turned sideways. I'm completely sideways to my target, and I'm just going to jump and get into an athletic stance here. So I'm wide enough that I'm really balanced here. I've got my legs a little bit flexed, and I'm just going to push my right leg back a little bit. And you can see that is really setting me up for a turn, a big turn. I'm loaded here, and it's going to allow me to have that really good throwing motion so that I can get some acceleration with the racket. Jordan can come and check my balance here. When my feet are apart like this and I'm low and I'm a little bit low, you can see that I'm really balanced. If I start sliding this foot back here too much, you can tell no balance there. If I get my feet a little bit too close together like this, not very balanced. So you'll see just about all pros kind of getting that right foot back. The tip of the right toe lines up with the heel of the left toe. There's a little bit of space here, and there's just some really good balance because of this great stance that I have here.
And that is really one of the keys that you have to understand. The stance is so important. All these things are designed to create a great foundation and not limit what you are able to do. So you can continue to progress. You may progress from this, but you're going to have a great foundation in learning how to serve properly. So on to the next step. Okay, so you're aware of the proper stance. And the stance is important because it's going to allow you to grow as a player. So we have that. Now we're going to be talking about the grip. And the grip, as you probably know, a continental grip. So the continental grip, that is a hammer grip. If I were to swing at it like that, the side of my racket is on its edge. The proper way to find that, your grip structure. If you turn the racket sideways like this is number 1. Number 2, number 3, it goes all the way around to number 8. And I'm going to take this part of my hand right here, this pad, but also this part of my hand as well. And I'm going to put it on number 2. So 1, 2. So as I come into that like this, that's number 1. And then look at the back of my hand right here. I need to make sure that this part of my pad gets up on top of the racket itself on number 2. Right now it's currently on number 3. That is not the proper service grip. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to move it up on top. You see how now it's on top like this? That is the proper service grip. If I do this correctly, it should be difficult for me to hit a completely flat serve without really pronating my arm. And that, what happens is when people get into this soft grip and they allow this part of their hand to be way down here like that, see, it looks like I'm in a continental, but I'm not in a true continental. It makes it very difficult to hit spin on your serve. And if you're going to have a grip that does not limit what you can do on your serve, you need to make sure it's the proper grip. So again, that's how you check it. We're going to take this part of our hand here, this part of the hand here, and we're going to put both of those on bevel 2. So I'm going to put it like this and like that. And that is the proper service grip. Now, as far as high to low, that is your choice. You could hold way down here like this. You could even be off of it a little bit, or you could bring it up a little bit. But nonetheless, this and this is on bevel 2. So now that you are aware of the proper grip, we're going to be moving on to the rhythm of the serve.
All right, so the next step is rhythm in your serve. We talked about that stance, so I'm in that good sideways stance here. I've got my right foot back. I'm in this continental grip, and now I've got to figure out how to create a rhythmic swing. And it all starts with the beginning, and I've got to get the racket up a little bit like this. This creates that rhythm, that drop. If I start down here, you know, I kind of have to push it with my arm and get the rhythm going this way, which isn't very rhythmic. So by getting my hands up here, I'm going to let the racket just drop, and I'm going to try to get this racket going into a continuous motion from here. Down, hands up together, and through. really relaxed, really loosen the grip pressure. Starting up, I'm dropping down, my hands go up together, the racket will drop naturally and extend up. I kind of bring this left arm in, but I'm creating this rhythm right in here. There are two ways to really practice this. The first one is to just take the racket out of your dominant hand and just go with two fingers, my thumb and my index finger here. I'm barely holding the racket, and from here I can start getting into that motion. I'm just gonna hold it with those two fingers. I'm coming down, I'm letting it drop, and I'm going through, and I can just keep this going. The racket's just gonna flow in a continuous motion, very loose. I'm barely holding on to it, and again, it's just the two fingers. These three fingers are completely off the racket. Another great way to learn rhythm is to just go out, grab a sock, and grab a tennis ball. Jordan's got one for me. I put a tennis ball in this sock here, and I'm gonna do the exact same motion, and if I keep my rhythm, the ball will not hit my body. It'll stay in motion. Hands up, get into that stance. Hands go up together, and I just let it drop and through like that. Drop and through. There's another one, down and through. If I lose my rhythm and I go fast, this ball's gonna hit me in the back, or it's gonna hit me in the arm, and I'm gonna lose that swing. So once again, sideways here, hands start up, and I just let it drop, and I find that rhythm and just let the ball come around again like this. That is a great way to learn a really rhythmic swing, which will allow you to accelerate the racket really fast to have a really solid, quick serve.
Next, we're going to be talking about contact point, but before we do, I want to clarify on rhythm. The rhythm that we showed you is a down together, up together rhythm, or down together, up together motion. And all great servers have learned that rhythm. It is a rhythm that has no limit. So from there, you can progress. And what I mean by that is maybe you progress where you bring both hands up at the same time, or maybe you progress to where the racket stays down as the arm is lifting up, or maybe you just stick with down together, up together. But nonetheless, I want to just make the point that great servers have learned a perfect rhythm through down together, up together. Moving on to contact point. And in the contact point, we need to figure out where the contact point needs to be. So first is figuring out contact point. If I'm in the proper stance like we talked about, I'm in here in a comfortable position, I'm going to try to make contact with the ball out in front of my foot here, but also, so that's from front to back, it is going to be about 1 foot, half of a racket out in front of me. From side to side, it is going to be just in front of this foot. Also, another way to find it is if I'm in my stance with my left foot and I just let my shoulder hang down. The racket is in direct alignment with the tennis ball right here. And that is because as I pick my racket up like this, it is now directly out in front of me, and that's where I want to make contact with the ball. So that's how you find exactly where you should be tossing. Now, when I hit the ball, I need to be hitting the ball in the upper part of the tennis racket, not in the middle like you might think, like off ground strokes, but because it's a serve, we're going to use the upper part of the string bed. A great drill for you guys when you're finding this. Toss the ball, hit it, and then try to freeze it at the point of contact and see where you are from side to side and front to back. So if I hit this, get in my rhythm, get my grip and everything. If I hit this right here, I'm going to try to hold right at that point. And if I look at that, that is directly off to my right, right in line with my shoulder, and it is in the tennis court. And that's a good drill to figure out how to get the proper point of contact. So I'll show you one more time. I'm going to come through here, I'm going to hit, I'm going to hold it right there. Okay, and it is not, when you're learning good contact point, it is not about hitting slice or kick or any of those things. It's about getting solid contact consistently as a foundation. And from then, you can expand into your slices, your kicks, many more things. But you need to learn exactly where that point of contact is and have it be reliable.
Okay, so the last step is balance, and we're going to focus on the ending of the swing when the ball is gone to see how balanced we are. Balance is important in every step of the swing, but if you're balanced at the end, there's a good chance you were staying balanced throughout the beginning, the middle, and the end of the swing. So I'm going to get into that good stance we talked about. Getting balance right away is a big help. I've got my continental grip, that's important. I'm gonna find some rhythm with this swing coming down, and I'm gonna find that good contact point up here, extend it out, but I'm just gonna hold my finish. I'm not gonna be using my legs and jumping into the court like I normally would on my serve. I'm just gonna take a swing with my feet in this position. I'm gonna hold my position, and I'm gonna see how balanced I am. So, I can bounce the ball here. I've got this toe up, this is how I serve. I'm starting up like Jordan said, where I'm gonna go hands down together and up together. I like serving that way. And I'm just gonna hold my finish and see how my balance is. So I'm coming down, throwing it up, and holding my finish. Pretty good, not a lot of wobble there. The other thing about this drill is it's gonna force you to have a good toss. If my toss starts moving left or right or too far back, I'm gonna lose my balance. Do a second one here, starting with my hands up. I'm coming down, throwing it up, and right there. I've got to pivot here. I've got to get my right toe going forward. I'm not jumping into the court, but I am pivoting and getting my body facing my target. Pretty good balance on that one too. Last one, coming down together, up, and serve. And my balance is good. I've been doing this. I did a couple takes. The first few I did weren't perfect, so this drill does help. If you work on this, your balance will improve and your serve will get much better.
You now know the 5 foundations to a great serve. If you found value in this video, you're gonna wanna check out our Master Series class. It is all about doubles strategy in depth. It covers our 7 patterns of play, and it for sure will make you a better doubles player.
In the meantime, look for our weekly YouTube videos at Tennis Beyond, where we cover technique and strategies that will definitely make you a much better player. We appreciate you guys trusting us to be your tennis coaches, and we'll see you shortly in the future.